Alright, today you are going to be able to analyze and interpret scatter plots. So I know some of you guys had questions about those from your last CA. You had those graphs on there that had, and you had questions about scatter plots. So hopefully this will answer those questions, okay? A scatter plot is a graph of a set of discrete bivariate data. It's used to determine relationships or a lack of relationships between the independent and dependent variables. So here are what some scatter plots look like. They are used to evaluate trends in data and make predictions. So these are the types of trends. You have a positive correlation that increases left to right, and this kind of looks like a positive sloped line. So that's how you can remember a positive correlation. This one is a negative correlation because it decreases from left to right. And then you have one that looks like this where there is no trend. It's just scattered all over the place. When you have a scatter plot, you can create a trend line on the graph showing the general direction that a group of points seem to be heading. So when you make your trend lines, you try to go through the middle of the data. You want to have the same amount of dots on the top or above the line and as the same amount of dots underneath the line. We have linear versus nonlinear. I think you were asked one of these questions on your CA. This one will create a straight trend line if you make one. And then this one right here has more of a curved trend line. So when you have a scatter plot that looks like this, that creates that curve, that's when you have a nonlinear scatter plot or data. And then this one would create, sorry, that line is bad, create a straight trend line, not a curved one. Kind of like that. So that's the difference between linear and nonlinear data. Example 1, these are going to be the types of questions that you're going to be asked, okay? So is this relationship linear or nonlinear? This one is going to be linear because if you create a trend line, it's going to be a straight line. What type of trend is this? This is increasing from left to right, so it's got like a positive slope, so it's going to be a positive correlation or a positive trend. And you're going to describe the relationship between the variables. So since this is a positive trend, you're going to look at the y-axis, and this is going to be the number of visitors. So this is beach visitors, so number of visitors at the beach and average daily temperature. So as the temperature rises, what happens to the number of visitors? Well, that also rises. So as it gets hotter outside, you're going to have more and more people come to the beach. I already drew the trend line, and then if the temperature is 90 degrees, about how many visitors can the beach expect? So after you draw your trend line, you're going to go to where it's 90 degrees up here, and you would say that the beach visitors would be between 375 and 450. So you could say about 400 visitors. Example 2. This data represents a dolphin's distance in feet from a ship over a certain period of time. So does the data represent a linear or nonlinear relationship? This is a nonlinear relationship because of the curved line. Write a statement to describe the data. So this is the dolphin's distance in feet from a ship over time. So as time goes by, the dolphin is farther and farther away from the ship. estimate how far the dolphin will be from the ship after 180 seconds. So I'm going to go to 180 on my graph. This is a 175. So about 180 is going to be over here. So we could say about 500 feet. Example 3, look at the data shown on the graph above. What is the line of best fit? So this is basically asking you about your trend line. So if I were you, what I would do is I would go to the answer choices and I would plot each graph. So I have my y-intercept here. This is my slope. So I'm going to begin with my B and move up 3 and run 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to draw my purple line, and then I'm going to draw the rest to see how they compare to this line. Okay, so let's do green this time. My B is 3, and my rise over run is the same as the last one. Rise 3, run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rise 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's my line. That line definitely does not work because all the data is below it instead of the line being right in the middle of the data. Alright, let's pick another color. We're going to start at 1/2 and we're going to rise 10 and run 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can already tell that this line doesn't work very well. Pick the dots here. And all the data is below this blue line, so that line's not going to work. And let's do pink. Okay, so let's start out at 1, rise 10, run 7. And that pink line is definitely not going to be here. So it looks like the line of best fit, or the trend line, would be this purple one right here because it goes right through the data. So your answer is A. This is going to be the U-try. But I'm going to go ahead and work this out. So what is the correlation and what does it mean? So you're going to take this table and you're going to plot each point. So this is one point here. You're going to have your height and your shoe size is the x-axis. Your height is the y-axis. So I'm going to go to 6 and then it looks like these 2, 4, 6. So I'm going to plot it. It's going to be somewhere close to here. 4 and 150, 8 and 172, 5 and 136, 9 and 165, 10 and 177. Alright, so I went ahead and plotted the rest of them so you can see this here. So what is the correlation? It looks like you have a positive correlation. It's increasing from left to right, or a positive trend. And it basically means that the bigger the shoe size, the taller you are. Draw a trend line for the graph. So I'm going to draw my line. You try and put it somewhere in the middle of the data. Like that. Estimate the height of the student shoe that has a shoe size of 7. So a size 7 would be someone who's about